Yeah, I'm good now.
All right. Sorry about 12:05. Let me make sure I got you here on Facebook too. Okay, it's 12:05. It's time to get started. Good afternoon, good morning. My name is Jordan Ivory. I am the program director here at the African American Chamber of Commerce. I'm super excited for our programming today as we get to kick things off talking tech foundations with my brother, Eku Williams, talking about protecting your home and your business. Why this is super important to me is because Eku and I have been doing programs since I started back in 2019 with the African American Chamber. And honestly, I called myself a tech guru. Okay, I knew a lot of things. I knew how to do a lot of things. And I also know how to Google certain things, right? If I didn't know how to do it. Meeting with Eku, it absolutely blew my mind. Okay, in some of these programs, I literally learned how I was leaving my own self open and vulnerable, and how I was potentially going to harm my own self in business, okay, by putting some of the things that I was doing out there without actually having the ability to protect it. We have talked about this in a pre-COVID kind of concept, all right? We have added so many more devices, and as things have increased, I've literally told Eku, man, there's more stuff coming into my house. There's more stuff that's happening. I'm getting new phones, right? I got a new computer, a new smart TV. I'm vulnerable, right? I'm vulnerable. So I learned a lot of things that I did not know in the previous situation and program that we had, okay, pre-COVID. Now we're fully in COVID, right? There are a lot more devices and things inside of our building and inside of our homes that we have to protect. And sensitive data is being transmitted across our Wi-Fi at all times. So I am super excited as we talk about things and preparations and ways that we can navigate COVID and having this increased workload inside of our personal space. I give you Eku Williams of Eku Consulting and IT to give you the lowdown, truly the lowdown on how to protect yourself at home and your business, even if it's a home business. Eku, take it away.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, overall, yes, the whole point of today is I wanted to just share some tidbits around home security and also your personal security, and that comes with technology. I think, as we all know right now during this COVID era, everybody is working from home. If you have kids, most likely they're being homeschooled or working from home using some sort of technology device. Being in audit right now, or with my background, we, at this current moment, we are probably at the highest point of risk that we've ever been. There are what I would consider bad actors out there, phishing, constantly trying to breach and not only take control of your computer using ransomware, but just stealing information overall. So what I wanted to do and what I've talked to Jordan about is really just bringing some tidbits, very high level, on some things that you can do to secure your home, as well as your business, to make sure you're secure in today's environment, that you are not getting breached, some things you may know, some things you might not know. But I just want to provide you that information, so when you go home or look in your firewalls or look at your PC, you make sure that you're protected overall. So with that being said, I am going to share my screen and pull this up. All right. You should be able to see my screen.
Oh yeah, we can see it. It looks real good.
Okay.
And I see it on Facebook too. We're in good shape.
There we go. All right. So just a little bit about me. I'm sure people are wondering, how do you know this information and what makes you valid enough to provide this insight? Well, just high level, I've been in IT close to 20 years. In information technology, I've been in audit, I've been a BA, I've been a systems analyst, in all very areas of financial tech, banking, pharmaceutical, and currently healthcare. So that experience has provided me this knowledge set, of course, training as well, to provide this insight to be able to give to you all today. So one of the things that we're going to talk about, what is IT risk, right? So I'm just going to read it high level. IT risk is any risk related to information technology. This includes threats, vulnerabilities, and exposure that can impact your personal information in business. Very straightforward explanation, but I just want people to understand what is IT risk. So when you at the end of this conversation, you'll have a better understanding of what it is and why it is I was talking about. So there's different type of risks, right? So I just want to define that for you all. One, threat. A threat is something that may or may not happen, but has potential to cause serious damage. Vulnerability. A vulnerability is a weakness in your computer system, network, in a set of procedures, or in anything that leaves information exposed to a threat. And exposure is something dangerous that can affect your PC or network. So a threat, to put it in layman's term, a threat is something that easily that can happen to you. A vulnerability is a weakness, right? Look at it as your house has an open window. You're vulnerable for someone to break in. And exposure is having that window open and people can see your 50-inch screen TV that people can see. So these are all different types of risks that can be prevented if you put the right controls in place. So from risk, I also listed out different types of risk, and this really obtains to business, because if you are at risk or you are exposed or if you are breached, different types of risks occur when these type of breaches happen. So I went through them all. We'll talk through them. So you have reputational risk. This impact creates a negative view about your business, right? So just go back to Target a few years ago when there was breach. Because of that breach, a lot of people were fearful of even using their credit cards at Target going forward, because the reputation is that they're at risk and your information can get stolen. You have marketplace risk. Investors could experience loss due to performance in business. And because of that breach at Target, there now was a marketplace risk. Their stock was lower because no one wanted to invest in a company that is liable or vulnerable to potential risk in the future. No one wants to lose money because of that. Then you have infrastructure risk. And I'm going to keep using Target as an example because all these different type of risks are impacted when they were breached. So infrastructure risk. This is losses due to failures of basic services that prevent the business from operating. Again, you have your machines, your credit card processing. Your network went down once you was breached. This is infrastructure risk if you do not protect and put the right controls in place. And then, of course, finally, financial risk. This is a risk associated with financial transaction that creates uncertainty. So now that Target was breached, people, again, are fearful of swiping their credit card. They're fearful that their information or their financial information will be stolen. So it's not just risk. There's different type of risks that will impact your business long term if you don't have the right controls in place to prevent you from these vulnerabilities or high level risk that occur. And because these type of risks do occur, that impact will negatively affect your business long term. Of course, it could be loss of money, reputational, marketplace, so on and so forth. So these are things I want you to think about as a small business, medium, or even large, that you want to have in place to prevent these things from occurring. This is a screenshot that I put together for individuals to really just kind of understand what and how and why you need to protect your system. Now, if you go from left to right, you have vulnerability, which we've already spoke about. So what you can put in place to ensure that you are secure, you can utilize vulnerability scanning tools, threat intelligence services, or security testing services. A lot of these things actually you can find on the web. You can Google, you can find free tools, or you can find other tools that may cost and will cost usually like a monthly or yearly fee to ensure that your home is secure and most definitely your business. Then you have prevention. You know, these are things that you always want to have in place. So look at it when you have a phone or Microsoft Windows, you'll constantly see like an update or a patch that needs to be done. These are measures that they're putting in to prevent you from being breached. And usually it occurs because something has been breached and they're trying to counteract that from happening to your system or to their network. So pay very close attention to that with your phones or even your home network. Next, you have your managed detection and response. This could be a little bit more expensive, and these are usually for your larger organizations. But again, these are tools that you can find on the net, or you can find a small business to help monitor this. And these are things that actually monitor when you are at risk, or they actually find bad actors that are trying to attack your system. They detect it, and they can respond. They can put additional measures of protection, because now they know exactly who's trying to attack your network and prevent those things from occurring. And the last piece is response. You know, these are, again, systems or software that are out there, but which will allow you to respond accordingly. Again, this is more towards your medium to larger size businesses. But again, even if you are a small business, these things can help with you going forward to help protect your overall network, to make sure it's secure, make sure it's protected, to ensure controls are in place to prevent any of these things from happening now and most likely in the future. Because especially now in the COVID time period, you are constantly being attacked. And if you have a good network up right now, you yourself most likely do not know based off the security that you have, but just all it takes is one time for a bad actor to breach your network, to bring it down, and just destroy or take, covet, and utilize something called ransomware to ensure you cannot get the information you need, or even steal your customers' information or your own personal information that you need. How can you protect? I listed out a few things that are very simple to do, but you should be doing honestly on a daily basis, because you are getting attacked daily, probably by the minute and not even knowing. So if you do have your own personal computer, especially with working from home right now, you could possibly be using a token ring if you're using your personal laptop or desktop. I'm sure your kids have their own laptop as well. So one of the things that you should always do is keep your software up to date. And that's, when there's updates going on, make sure they are from the correct vendor, but keep your software up to date. don't click on links within emails. And I'm gonna pause here for a minute. Right now, with COVID going on and so many individuals working from home, a lot of phishing activities are going on. And by phishing, these are the bad emails that you get that may have links. You might get emails from people you don't know, or it may look like an email from someone you do know. It's going on heavy right now. So I suggest that just recognize the emails that you have, that you're getting. Don't go on different websites, because right now people are actually creating bad websites that give you COVID information and says, click here, and you open it up and they're running executables in your background. Same thing with a lot of emails that are going on. They're looking at LinkedIn profiles and creating fake email addresses that look very, very close to maybe someone who works from you. And they can identify that, mirror that, and actually send you an email saying, send me this file, or I need this. And if you're not paying close attention to it, you will actually click on a link and send this bad actor information that you should not be doing. And because, and I'll use myself an example, I work from home now, and my daughter works essentially next to me. So you could be multitasking, and they're hoping that will occur, and for individuals not to pay attention. And then all it does is take one link for you to click on when you're not paying attention to disrupt your network, which can actually disrupt your company's network, as well as your home business or just your home office. So those are very, I would utilize the word very, very important to pay attention to. Use free paid antivirus software. After this slide, I will actually provide you with a list of free antivirus software that you can use. Constantly back up your computer, not only before you shut your computer down at night, but I also advise that you buy an external hard drive or a thumb drive. And if you have valuable information, don't just save it on your computer. I always say save it in multiple places. Use a cloud environment as well as another hard drive. Because again, if you get breached and someone locks in and puts ransomware on your PC, you will not be able to get that information back until you pay. And no one wants that to happen. Next piece, use a strong password. I know everyone gets lazy. You want to just use a quick and easy password, but definitely use strong password, use numbers, use characters, use capital letters. You want to make it as difficult as possible for someone to think they can just create your password. And not only a strong password, but constantly update it and switch it about every 30 days. There are software, or even write it down in a secure space of your ever-changing passwords. Because right now, again, if someone runs the executable or breaches your computer, they're looking at passwords to various accounts that you constantly are putting in, because 9 times out of 10, that website, you're usually saving your password, and they're able to run an executable to get that information off your PC, off that software, off that website. And then what they do is they go to various known websites and they run an executable and actually put in that username and password. It's just an executable. And essentially, it just keeps going until it gets a hit. And once it gets a hit, boom, you're in. So say if someone gets into your Amazon account off your username and password, a lot of times people are storing their account information on Amazon. So now they use your username and password. They already have your account information. Say, all they got to do now is order. So just be careful of that. Next bullet point, use a firewall. Just look at it as a firewall, as you're protecting and putting extra locks on your door. You can buy extra firewalls to protect you inside of your house. Usually whatever network you are on, if it's Spectrum, if it's Fioptics, they usually have some sort of protection as well. But you can always purchase your own to give you added protection. Next bullet point, minimize downloads. Again, this just goes back to security. If you don't need it, don't download it. pay attention. And if you really think you do need that download, take an extra few minutes, call the 800 number to ensure this is exactly what it is, or this is the true company that actually has this download, and verify it. Because right now, there are fake sites, there's fake accounts, there's fake pictures, fake links. People are slowly but surely attacking, and they're winning out here. And that is large corporations to your actual home. So these are things that you got to closely monitor and pay attention to, and especially keep your eye on your kids that they're working from home. They're using their home laptops from school, but now they have access to all these things. And don't think, bad actors aren't sending links and stuff to your kids' emails as well. So I would also advise, if your children are receiving emails from their school, do not have them open anything without you opening it up first and verifying that it's actually something from a teacher or school. Last but not least, use a pop-up blocker. These are things that I'm sure you've seen it constantly pop up on your PC when you go to certain websites. And then what happens is it's constant. So I would use a pop-up blocker because, again, these things happen so fast and you may think you're clicking off on it and you might actually click the pop-up and now, boom, that executable is ran. So it's best to use a pop-up blocker to prevent any pop-ups from coming unless you're comfortable with that site, and then you can allow that site to have a pop-up on your website. But I always advise against it, just to be ultra secure. Next slide is a list that I promised of free antivirus software. This is software that you can download that's secure, that will help prevent any virus from coming on your PC, and it's free. So if you don't already have one, these are things that I would say use. These are probably the top 7 that I've researched that are very good. The top 3 are the ones that are the most highly rated, and that is Kaspersky, Panda, and Sophos. Kaspersky and Panda, I labeled the first 2 because now that everybody's working from home, again, you can be using your own personal laptop and using what is called a token ring, and that is just a little device, or it could be an app on your phone that gives you another level of authentication that when you type in to connect to your network at work, gives you, it protects you. Well, these things protect, look at it as a doorway. And this software puts an ultra level of protection and basically monitors and makes sure anything coming in and out is not a virus. Sophos, with everyone currently having kids using their computers for school or just in general, this one has a great parental control feature on it. So that's why I listed this one as my top 3. Avast, Devira, ABG, Bitdefender, these are all great antivirus softwares as well. Some offer more than others, but you can look and see what's best for you. But as the top 3, those are the top 3 I would go to. I currently use Kaspersky myself. I've never had any issues. It runs a lot of vulnerability scans as well. And this allows you to see where you are weak at in your network. And that is something that you want to see. You want to be able to see any type of vulnerabilities that you may have in your network at home or for your business. And with that said, I believe this is the end, but I'll leave this screen up for a little while longer in case anybody wants to write down this free software that you can use for your home.
All right. It doesn't look like we have any questions on Facebook quite yet. If you have questions, please drop them on Facebook. We are monitoring the chat there. If you would like to join us here and ask questions live, you're more than welcome. I see we have a new joiner in here. Rashard, do you have any questions for Eku? Can you guys hear me? Eku, can you hear me okay?
I don't hear anything. It looks like she's on mute if she is.
Eku, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can. Tell us again how we can connect with you, Eku, and how we can get, involved with your services.
Okay, you can. Matter of fact, I will do this.
Yep.
If you do want to get in contact with me, my name again is Eku Williams. You can give me a call at 513-399-3904. You can go to my website, www.ekuconsulting.com, and you can also email me at ekuconsulting@gmail.com. On my website, you can find a list of services. I do auditing, vulnerability scanning. I actually also do websites and app development and consulting on business strategy and how to be more efficient using process improvement tools. I also work closely with Riskversity to provide knowledge in regards to cybersecurity, cyber insurance, and vulnerability scanning to really point out where inside your network you're vulnerable so you can be protected. So you can contact me, and then I will get with my team at Riskversity so we can work with you as a client to make sure you're secure from all sorts of sides of your perimeter, as well as making sure you are insured correctly in this current time frame and going forward.
Eku, we did have a question on Facebook. If you could go back over setting up or how to back up your own home computer.
How to back up?
Yeah, how to back up your own home computer. The question is from Eku Williams.
Well, on your home computer, essentially save. Just the best way to back it up is create another drive, another folder, and save that information off. So anytime you have any type of information on your PC, save it at the end of the day. And if you keep your computer running, again, just save it. But the best way, again, is to use an extended or hard drive or a thumb drive as well. So if you're looking for, at the end of the night, it's 12 o'clock, you're tired, put the thumb drive in, or if you have an external hard drive, connect that to your home PC or laptop and save that off, all that information off to that hard drive at the end of the day. And you should be good to go as far as backing that up. And you keep that information so it's now on your laptop or on your desktop, whatever tool that you're using, but at least you know at the end of the day or evening that the information is saved off. And if you're using a cloud environment, you could use Google. I know Microsoft has cloud environment, and you can save all that information there as well. So for me, I save my information every night on various platforms just to make sure if one is to go down, I have it saved elsewhere. And believe me, I've learned from experience. So I suggest everyone do the same.
That's great. I think a lot of us have been in that predicament, Eku, where we thought that we had something saved or backed up, and we didn't. I think a lot of us before that have had the experience of, I should have saved, I should have backed up, right? Before we lost, that content or material. Your programs are always phenomenal, my man. I really appreciate you taking the time and being here with us today. While I'm giving my closing remarks, if you will share your screen again and show the people how to get in contact with you, I would really appreciate it. Again, guys, this has been a Tech Foundations course about protecting your home and your business. And if you're like me and super excited about all things tech, you absolutely love today's presentation with Eku. I can honestly say that we do programming every month with Eku here at the African American Chamber, and he's not only been an asset and a resource to what we have going as a community in the chamber here at the African American Chamber, but also just in the environment in the world of Black individuals and business that need access to tech. One of the things and reasons why I came to the African American Chamber is because I wanted to be sure that I could help bridge the social tech gap. And I have met Eku way before that at a National Newspaper Publishers Association's national convention, where he actually showed me how I could get an app at an affordable rate. I've never forgot that moment. This is probably the first presentation I did not lead with that, Eku. So let's make note of that. We were transitioning into new things into year 2 here at the chamber. I really want you guys to connect with Eku. Okay, if you have tech questions, he's a great person to spitball off of, okay? He's not one of those that's going to charge you for every second, but he will lead you in the right direction and talk to you about cost-effective ways to work with tech, okay? If you need to protect yourself, if you need to build something out, if you need something grown or you need some advice on some things, Eku's a great person to do it. Super professional, okay? And super great at what he does. Please, please, please make sure that you are checking out the African American Chamber website at african-americanchamber.com, okay? We have programs going on. We also have enrollment for Emerge happening, which is our young professionals accelerator program that we have. We are doing a certification lab every first Tuesday and last Tuesday of the month with Minority Business Assistance Center. And of course, we're doing over 120 programs annually here at the African American Chamber. And I'm happy to say that we have already grown over 140 programs already this year and still on track to do over 200 programs by the end of 2020. This would not be possible without the support of our viewers, the individuals that consistently and constantly support the African American Chamber's programs, and industry experts and gurus just like Eku Williams, who really help us make sure that our programming is at a high level as we do a high quantity of these. Please, please, please connect with Eku, guys, okay? And let me know if I can be of service or of any help. Please tune in for more programs. We have a member spotlight dropping tomorrow afternoon with Key Spot, okay? And Cynthia McAllister, all right, who has a phenomenal app showcasing small businesses and Black-owned businesses across the country. Okay, so be sure to check out our YouTube. If you go to YouTube and type in African American Chamber, you'll see our page, our beautiful and phenomenal CEO, president, who does videos each week, President Eric H. Kearney. And you will see a lot of the videos that we've had of previous events, even with Eku. So if you'd like to get caught back up or we mentioned something that was on the back end, please, please, please make sure you tune in. I'm Jordan Ivory, Program Director at the African American Chamber. It's truly been phenomenal being here today with Eku Williams. Eku, thank you again. Rashara, thank you for joining us. And our ghost member, thank you for being here too. We're excited for what's happening here at the Chamber. Remember, great things are happening. We look forward to seeing you next week for programs. Talk soon.